So let's take a quick look at some DevTest Solutions 10.2 system requirements listed in the online documentation. We start by expanding Installing and selecting Pre-installation. Note that, before beginning the installation, a devtestlick.xml license file must be available and present on the Enterprise Dashboard machine during installation of the dashboard component. Once the dashboard is installed, the other components will register with it. Now we expand system requirements. You can see we have different requirements listed around operating system, supplying your own JVM should you choose to do that, requirements around the DevTest server and some of the components, communications requirements, including default ports used and how to change those, and information on database requirements and supported browsers. So let's start by looking at the operating system requirements. You can see the list of operating systems supported by DevTest. There are Microsoft Windows versions, there are different Linux variants, there's Oracle Solaris and IBM AIX support, and there's Apple OS X support. We recommend a 64-bit operating system in JRE, especially for the DevTest servers. We also recommend that all server components are deployed on the same operating system type. DevTest Workstation running on a different operating system is fine. There's information provided on supplying your own JVM. Most DevTest installers already provide a supported version of the JVM, but you do have the option of using a generic Unix installer and supplying your own. Details on installing the Oracle JVM or IBM JVM are provided here. There are DevTest server minimum and recommended requirements listed that you should consider. Memory, disk, and CPU are listed. You can also see requirements for the other components. As far as communications requirements, there are default port numbers listed and details on how to change them. Under database requirements, some things to note. First, DevTest ties licensing to ACLs, which are enabled by default and cannot be disabled. Because of this, DevTest should be thought of as a database-centric application and not a registry-centric one. Additionally, we no longer support the supplied Derby database in a distributed deployment of DevTest. There's a list of DevTest relevant URLs and supported browsers as well. DevTest Portal uses HTML5, so running the latest available versions of browsers is a good idea. Now that we've looked at the prereqs, the next step will be downloading the installation files to our server. For more detailed information about this product, click the information bubble in the top right corner to load the product page. From there you can visit product documentation, support, communities, or see the learning paths.